Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest and welcome to the stock of the day, Bellevue Gold, ticker code BGL. This company is proving that just because a commodity is running hard like gold is doing, doesn't mean you can just blindly buy any single gold producing company on the ASX, because some of these companies have skeletons in the closet and the share price is doing the complete opposite than what the gold price is doing. And typically you don't usually see that. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why Bellevue Gold share price is down 21% today. They have been in a trading halt and have been suspended for about 2 weeks. So we'll explore the reasons behind the meltdown in Bellevue Gold's share price. Okay, so let's go back and have a look at Bellevue Gold's announcement history over the past few weeks. Now, the company went into trading halt on the 26th of March, and it wasn't a positive reason. Sometimes when I see a company go into trading halt, I'd say the vast majority, maybe not the vast majority, but the majority of trading halts are because of capital raisings, or could be something that is favorable or unfavorable that could send the share price up or down a fair bit. This was not for a good reason, this trading halt. They mentioned in section 1 here, completion of a process of review and verification of gold production outcomes from the Bellevue Gold Project, which may result in downward adjustments to its production guidance. So they're hinting right now in this trading halt that they were going to do a production downgrade. And that is never favorable for any company, ever. In the history of history, any sort of downgrade is not favorable. You're going to see the share price fall. Now, the company came out of a trading halt. They were put in suspension, and they finally came out of trading halt this morning after yesterday announcing they were indeed updating their production guidance, but they're also at the same time doing an equity raising. And this is another reason why the share price is down. In fact, you could say it's the main reason the share price is down, although I'd say it's a combination of production downgrade and also equity raising, because this equity raising is at a discount. Okay, so we'll talk about the downgrade first. And this was a pretty substantial downgrade. So found in the 5th bullet point on the first page, financial year 25 annual guidance, which was heavily weighted the second half of the year, has been revised down to between 129 and 134 ounces. Previously, it was supposed to be between 150 and 165 ounces. They've also mentioned all the standing costs between about 2,400 to 2,500. That also could be a bit of a downgrade as well. So maybe a rise in all-in staying costs. I actually didn't have a look at that. Also, production outlook for financial year 26 anticipated to be around 150,000 ounces. So that in itself is not positive, and that's the reason why the share price has decreased. Now, probably the most important thing when you look at a downgrade is reasons why, and they do go into some of the reasons up in the first few comments, talking about overall performance for the March 2025 quarter was impacted by mining and uncharacteristic geological factors, including the deferral of high-grade mining areas, dilution, and the grade performance of 3 key stopes located on the outer edges of the ore body. And this is a problem about a mining company. Some things can happen that's out of your control that you might not have anticipated, but I still do prefer any company to be fairly conservative with any forecast, because sometimes stuff like this can happen, not only for mining companies, but all companies. Little things can happen that can actually disrupt your company that you could not foresee. Anyway, on to the capital raising. So the share price before they went into trading halt was $1.14. So we would expect with a downgrade, this would have to be a fairly heavily discounted capital raising, and it is. I think the discount was, the capital raising was done at 85 cents. You can actually, if you want a more read of the production guidance update and the reasons why, they go into fairly extensive reasons why, but I'm looking for the capital raising announcement. Here it is. So yeah, so it's a 25.8% discount to the previous or last traded price, which was $1.14. So 25.8%. It could have been worse at 85 cents. I would have been surprised if it was 80 or 75 cents, because you do have to, with the the production downgrade, you do have to, in a way, entice, maybe not entice is the right word, encourage participants to take this offer. But anyway, share price, no doubt, would have collapsed no matter what today because of the production guidance downgrade. Even if they didn't do a capital raising, the share price would have collapsed. Okay, and the other thing is they were hedging, and I think they're getting rid of the hedge right now, which is an interesting thing because the whole reason you hedge is because you're more risk averse. So now they're saying we're more of a risk taker. And the worst thing that could happen now for Bellevue Gold is gold prices dropping because that's why you hedge, in case the price of the underlying commodity drops. I did read that somewhere, but I won't talk about that anymore. So let's have a look at the chart for these two, the commodity and also the company. So we'll have a look at the chart of gold first. In fact, now what we do is we'll have a look at Bellevue Gold, and then we'll overlay the gold price on top of the chart. And this is not what you want to see if you're a shareholder of a company like Bellevue Gold. Now, this is the 1 minute chart. That's why it looks a little bit funky right now. So let's have a look at the daily chart, and we'll get rid of these moving averages. So unfortunately for Bellevue Gold, share price has been dropping since the share price reached a high in May of last year. And that share price was around about $2.12. So share price has more than halved since then. So this company has released quite a few bad news events in the past year or so. So what I'm going to do now is just overlay gold. Just overlay gold, something really easy. We'll do new price scale. And here it is. Okay, so here it is. So the way this works is at the start of the period here, which is October 2022, they both start at the same level. And then what then you're tracking after that is the rise and fall of each. So gold has been rising ever since then. And Bellevue Gold share price was lock and step in line with gold. In fact, it was doing a little bit better than gold up until June, July of last year. And since then, gold's been moving up and Bellevue Gold share price has been moving down. That is not what you want to see. You want to see the share price of a company, like a mining company, like Bellevue Gold, moving up, just like the underlying commodity they're mining. And that is the complete opposite to what we're seeing here. So if we get rid of the gold chart and just have a look at this one, just putting some moving averages. Yeah, the share price is a downtrend and share price has reached a long-term low. In fact, the last time share price was this low was back in late 2022. So we're talking about over 2 years ago. Okay, that's all I have for this video, looking at Bellevue Gold, the stock of the day. If you have any questions, any thoughts, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.